Hello and welcome back to another video on SW Fight Hub. We're going to be discussing in this video, is Terence Crawford the pound for pound number one with a win over Israil Madrimov this week in LA? It's officially Crawford-Madrimov fight week. I personally cannot wait for this fight. I think it's one of the best fights on the schedule right now. Includes Beterbiev, Bivol, Fury versus Usyk. Literally cannot wait for this fight on Saturday. But there's a lot of debate at the minute. The three names that are mentioned in everybody's top three pound for pound, and it's universally recognized, are heavyweight undisputed champion Oleksandr Usyk. Well, he's not anymore actually. Sorry, Daniel Dubois, IBF champion, but he was undisputed after beating Fury. Naoya Inoue, who is the undisputed super bantamweight champion, 122 pounds, and Terence Crawford, who was the undisputed 147-pound welterweight champion, who's challenging Madrimov for the 154 WBA belt this weekend. So the question and the title of this video is, does a win over Madrimov make Crawford pound for pound number one? So let's analyze what's going on with the other two to start off with. So Oleksandr Usyk's body of work is quite simply amazing. The fighters he's beat along his career, I've got the list wrote down here. So Murat Gassiev, he beat him to become undisputed at cruiserweight, which at the time was a phenomenal win. Gassiev's been very inactive since heavyweight. Maris Bradis, when he was at his absolute peak, we saw him fight Opataya recently and he still got it. Anthony Joshua, obviously twice, which the wins are aging more better by the day. Daniel Dubois, again, a win that's aging really well for Usyk. And obviously the biggest one of them all, Tyson Fury, recently in May, which was phenomenal. So Usyk's body of work for me is quite simply amazing. Looking down now to Naoya Inoue, so his body of work as well, you cannot knock it. He's been undisputed at bantamweight and now currently still is undisputed at super bantamweight. So he's fought Tapales, Stephen Fulton, Lewis Neary. He beat Paul Butler to become undisputed at bantamweight. Fought Nonito Donaire as well. Unbelievable body of work. In fairness to Inoue, he's knocking people out doing this as well. Now, pound for pound criteria is obviously if everybody was the same weight, who wins the fight. And then obviously Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, Sean Porter, Kell Brook, Amir Khan. He beat Julius Ndongo to become undisputed champion at 140 pounds. So for me, the signature wins for each of them, obviously Crawford's was Spence, which was a phenomenal performance. Usyk's obviously was his last fight against Tyson Fury. Naoya Inoue's got a couple, Stephen Fulton for me, I'd have right up there. That was an absolutely phenomenal performance. Taking out to Parles as well for the undisputed crown at 122 pounds. So yeah, please get involved in the comments, guys, who you think is the pound for pound number one. With Terence Crawford, he becomes a 4-weight world champion if he beats Israil Madrimov this weekend. I think it's going to be hard to deny him pound for pound number one status, based on the way he absolutely dismantled Errol Spence. That was a number one versus number two. Spence was pound for pound in most people's lists during that fight. Obviously it's easy to say in hindsight now he's weight drained, so on and so forth, but he was on everyone's pound for pound list heading into that Terence Crawford fight. Usyk, Fury had his moments in that fight. It was a close decision. He did win the fight, but it was very close. Obviously, Naoya Inoue, been dropped in his last fight against Nair. He showed a slight bit of vulnerability. But for me, I think you probably have to have Usyk as number one right now, just strictly based on his body of work and being maybe even outsized in a lot of his fights as well. But if Crawford beats Madrimov, obviously moving up the weights again, it's going to be very, very hard to deny him pound for pound number one spot for me. So and I'm sitting on the fence a little bit. I've got a few splinters going on there, but let me know in the comments, guys. Who do you think will be number one? Will Terence Crawford go to number one if he beats Israil Madrimov this weekend? I'm going to stick my neck out the line. I'm going to say he goes to pound for pound number one. Thanks for watching, guys.